Welcome to Learned and Go-Go, the podcast. Hey, guys. My name is Sydney A. That was an abrupt ending. And I hope that you are having a fantastic Wednesday. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go. Guys, I am so frazzled right now. So I've been gone all day. You might be like, oh my gosh, you really did your makeup tonight. No, it's because I didn't do it, and I love it. So I was just keeping it on for our show. I love like these fake eyelashes are banging. I got to figure out how to do that because I have no idea. I am not good at girly girl stuff. But so to say again, like, thank you everybody for hopping on. I see Lizzie and Aaron are here. Hey, loves. So good to see you tonight. I'm so happy that you are hopping on with me. You rock. I hope you had a fantastic birthday, Aaron. But yeah, I've been gone all day. So when I came home, I had to like quick catch up, make sure I didn't have anything with work, that was hanging over my head. So I looked, I'm like, oh shit, it's like 8:58. Gotta go back. Come running back. I didn't have a chair in the podcast room. So I had to run back out and get a chair. It's like that kind of stuff. So, but I made it, and I'm really, really glad that you guys are here too. And big shout out to Laura from Crimson and Ivy Studios. She is my boudoir photographer. She is fantastic. She is located in York, Pennsylvania. So please book your session with her. She is awesome. I'm wearing my live hoodie because they are also from York, Pennsylvania. And I really dig that band. But yeah, so I went and did a photo shoot today, and it's so fun because first of all, Laura makes you so comfortable because it's like that, it can be kind of nerve-wracking. And I was actually honored because she just had a pole installed in the studio and wanted me to come and pose. So that made me really happy because I got a little bit of a pole experience. But it was a lot of fun. So my first topic of discussion tonight for you guys is, do you like to play dress up? Because pretty much that is what a boudoir session or most photo sessions really are, is because you get to dress up in different outfits, things that you might not wear all the time, or you can get your hair and makeup done. Thank you, Brittany. Fantastic job. And it kind of gives you a little lift being able to be in this different view, than you normally are. It can definitely give you, just a little self-esteem boost, or, like, that's what I like about it, is because even though it's me, it's a different version of me. And it's not some way that I would normally express myself, mostly because I don't have the time. But I liked that the look that Brittany did for me was kind of more old Hollywood than my other looks. It's still kind of pin-up-y, but I do like I'm telling you, these eyelashes. I feel like Bambi. Blink, blink. Like, I love them. I think they're so fun. So if you do like to play dress up, if you like to present yourself as a character, please put that in the comments and let's see what you guys like to do. I kind of have a feeling I know what one of these answers is going to be, just because I know who's in the comments tonight. Yes, Erin says, it could be said I'm into dressing up. So feel free. You guys, we're family here. We can all plug each other's projects. Feel free to let people know who you like to breast. Where's my brain? What you like to dress up as from time to time. Oh, Lizzie says that she likes to dress up from time to time. There you go. That's hilarious. I love it. Some people might like to dress up as, like big chickens or I had to counteract the breasts comment with the pecker comment. Um, but yeah, it's fun. Like, and part of it in photography is that you don't have to remember lines, whereas it's fun to dress up in film as characters and become those characters as well. But you might have to remember some lines in that case. So that can make it a little bit more tricky. Uh, but it is so much fun. Like, I am having so much fun with all of these projects that I'm just saying yes to. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this before. When I do my morning affirmations, a lot of the time, I mention that you should say yes. Like when people ask you if you want to participate in projects or like something that might be something that you have had an interest in, but you're too scared. Do it scared. Say yes. Like you might have so much fun and learn that you really enjoy this thing that was always just in your mind, but you didn't ever think you could pull off, you know? And that's kind of like the photography thing for me. I've always loved photography back before smartphones. Now that we have smartphones, I think we're all amateur photographers because I don't know about you. Let me check my phone currently. As of this moment, I have, sorry, I've got a little bit of a runny nose. I don't mean to be gross. I have 29,096 photos on my phone right now. That's a little bit ridiculous. Like we passed ridiculous and now we're into ridiculous. But I love taking photos. And when you have a couple pups that are as cute as mine, you take several photos a day of them. But I've always liked, even back when I just had a 35 millimeter camera or, whatever, I always loved just trying new looks and stuff like that and taking photos. So that's always a fun thing. And now I'm kind of dabbling in film as well, which is so fun. So, so, so fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. Are you guys just, if you're sending comments and I'm not getting them, let me know because I'm not seeing that many comments tonight. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And with Halloween coming up, you can even play dress up a little bit more than you might in your day to day, which is always, always fun. When I was driving to York, it's about 2 hour drive, and a lot of it was back roads. And I don't know if it's a nationwide thing or if it's just in my area, but so many people have those 12-foot skeletons now. I want one so bad, but I have nowhere to store it. I can't afford it, but I think they're so cool. But on top of that, what I've been seeing all over are, it looks like the skeleton from like the ribs up, like the big guy, but only from the ribs up. So I wonder if maybe the factory, like they ordered more tops than bottoms. And I mean, good thing, because if you just got skeleton butts on the lawn, that might look a little silly. But like from the top up, they kind of look like they're coming out of the ground. So I was wondering if that might be like a cheaper alternative to the giant skeletons because I think they're super cool. And you can leave it up year round and just put Santa on him for Christmas or like make him Cupid for Valentine's Day. Like you can absolutely do, like dress them up and leave them out year round. Lunar Projects is here. Hey, sweetie. She said, hey, hot mama. Good to see you, beautiful. And Lizzie says, our grocery store sells just the torso. Okay, yeah, like I haven't seen them sold anywhere. I haven't been in Spirit this year, honestly, because I just know it's not in the budget, so I don't want to go and tempt myself. But November 1st, I might have to go on a shopping spree and try to find everything on clearance because I just love Halloween decorations so much. But I've been noticing those torsos. So, okay, they're in the grocery store. I think that's even funnier. Like that you can get because it's a decent size decoration. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing driving around today, like this year, we did like the weather, I guess maybe was cooler longer because we're having actual fall leaves. And I know some of you live where it's like super duper duper hot. So I don't know if your leaves change ever. But in the Northeast, for the past few years, it's been like, I'm changed, I'm dead. So it's been really nice being able to like see all the different beautiful colors that are out. I love fall, man. It's like my favorite season. All Luna Project says, wow, your hair is awesome in makeup. You said something about a shoot that you were at. Yep, exactly. I did a boudoir shoot today to to try out my friend's pole. That sounded naughty. But it was a lot of fun. But I couldn't do tricks on it, A, because of my stupid shoulder, and B, because we both were afraid that it might not stay, you know, installed. So yeah, no tricks, but definitely posing, and it was a lot of fun. Hey, Dustin's here. I love fall. Me too. It is so fun. Just I love that crunch when you like walk in fall leaves. It's so, it's so like, I don't know, I guess all of the seasons do to some extent, but fall seems to touch all of your senses because the leaves have a smell and they're so brilliant, the colors, and you can feel the crisp air, and like it really, I mean, I guess pumpkin spice would be the fall taste, although apples apples are fall too. Let's see. Touch, feel, taste. What am I missing? Sight, smell. You know what I'm saying. Fall rocks. So hold on one second. I have to cough. Excuse me. I don't know what is up with me today. Lizzie says, our leaves go green, brown, gone. That stinks. You have to come up and visit. And then you can see the golds and the reds. I'm going to mute myself for 1 second because I have a tickle in my throat and it's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Like I said, I am frazzled and bedazzled this evening. Luna Project says, fall is my favorite with all the colors, smell of the air, and just the feel of it all. Absolutely. There is nothing like a fire pit in the fall. That like smell of the fall air mixing with the campfire smoke is just so, I don't know, it just makes me feel content and at peace. I just love that. And Lizzie says, and in Germany we had pine trees, so I never really had that pretty leaves experience. That's it. You're coming up to stay and visit during the fall so that you can experience this, because you must. You must. See, touch, hear, smell, taste. Hear. That's the one I was missing. Sorry, it's probably because I have hearing issues that I forgot about that one. So I guess you hear the leaves crunching, right? You see the leaves changing colors. Touch would be, like I said, feeling the wind, even though you're not touching the wind, and smelling the crisp air and tasting the tasty treats that you can get in the fall. So I love it. And like I said, I'm sure every season we could come up with things for, but the fall ones just for some reason touch different for me. I don't know why. Luna Project says we're lucky in Ohio because we have a long fall season. We do in Pennsylvania as well, typically, but I've just noticed the last few years it's been like so quick because it goes from like 80 to 40 overnight. And then you miss out on fall, and then in the spring it does the opposite. So we're kind of not getting fall and spring as much anymore, but this year has been a banger. I'm like very, very much enjoying this fall season. So that is awesome. And for everybody that is just hopping on, thank you so much for joining me. I am your host, Sydney. I'm the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in GoGo, which you can pick up at learnedingogo.com. And so far, we've been discussing, do you like to play dress up? Because today I got to play dress up for a photo shoot and it was super duper duper fun. So please put that answer in the comments. And now we're talking about the fun things about fall. You know what? Have you guys ever done hay rides? Because I was just thinking about when my husband and I went to the pumpkin patch last week. when we used to take our kids, they have hay rides. And unfortunately, hayride like kills my back now. But it was always so much fun when the kids were little. And then when I went to summer camp, we had hay rides there too. So let me know if that's something that's just regional for this area or if like it's more widespread than just here. Let's see here. Luna's asking if I'm farther north. I'm near Philadelphia. So I'm not in like the northeast part of the state, but I'm actually southeast. So yeah, but I guess like northern part of the country, I'm kind of mid-Atlantic, I guess. So, oh, thank you. Dustin says it's a great book. I appreciate it. You guys need to hold on to your butts because me and Dustin may have been having a discussion about that. And Dustin says, in my area, we have places that do hay rides, apple picking, and such. Same. By me, there's like a huge place, and they call it Pumpkin Land. So you can get all these different pumpkins. And this year we got a wordy looking pumpkin. It looks like it has like bumps all over it, which is pretty cool. And just like a regular orange pumpkin. But they have white pumpkins and pink. They're called Cinderella pumpkins. Like, who knew? I thought a pumpkin was a pumpkin. I have been educated, and I like know now that there are many, many types of pumpkins. But they also have, they call it the hayride to the witch's house. So you get in this hayride and it's all the little kids and you go back through the fields. It's like a really nice long hayride. And then you get to the witch's house, which is basically a backdrop of a house with a stage and 3 witches that hand out cookies to all of the kids. And they tell really bad jokes, which I absolutely love. And then they tell the kids a story. And it ends with, if you don't believe in witches, we just fed your kids all this sugar and now we're sending them home with you. Have a good day. And I always love that. Like, if you don't think witches are real, this is what we just did. So we're witches. And I always thought that was funny. It was a lot of fun. And then when you get to the end of the hayride and you get out, they have these giant fire pits to make s'mores and they have apple cider and stuff. So it's a really nice experience that I enjoyed doing when my kids were little. Let's see here. Luna says she thinks that hers is longer because she's southwest in Ohio, border of Kentucky and Ohio. So we're about the same. Would that be latitude? I'm pretty sure, like, if I looked at a map, we're about the same. So that would make sense. And she has seen the white pumpkins. I did get a white pumpkin last year, but this year I stayed with the orange ones. Lizzie says we found some humongous pumpkins this year, surprising with the heat and lack of rain. I was listening this morning to my favorite radio show, and they were talking about a pumpkin contest. And they take the top 3 weights, like, like whoever, like if I was a contestant and I entered 5 pumpkins, they take the top 3 weights of them. And then I would compete against the top 3 of the other ones to decide who's the great, what did they call it? The greatest pumpkin grower or something. I don't know. The person that won this year had over 7,000 pounds of pumpkin between his top 3. I'm like, how do you get them to said competition? First of all, because that's a whole lot of pumpkin. And if I found out last year, the person that would have had the world record was disqualified because they found a tiny little crack in the pumpkin. So you can't crack the pumpkin or you're disqualified. And that's like a shit ton of pumpkin. And then I found out too that what they'll do is they take these enormous pumpkins and they hollow them out and then they have boat races in the pumpkin, which part of me really wants to do that just to say that I like had a pumpkin boat, because that's just ridiculous and fun and it sounds amazing. So Dustin says across the bridge is Sleepy Hollow. So, I've been to several of the Washington Irving sites. That's cool. I have not been to Sleepy Hollow. That sounds like it would be fun. It could be a forklift to get the pumpkins, as long as you don't stick the pumpkin with the forklift, because then you're disqualified. Because if you put a hole in it, no more. Maybe they have like a big pumpkin, like a parachute, but upside down. So you would stick it like the stork. Like the stork comes, a giant stork comes and gets your giant pumpkin and like picks it up in its big old pumpkin diaper. Maybe that's how they work it. Well, no, but now I'm curious. These are the thoughts that kept me out of the really good schools, because instead of learning it, like important things, I worry about how they transport gigantic pumpkins. The pumpkin patch near us has huge ones that are like a couple 100 pounds, but not like thousands of pounds, because that's crazy. Yep. Dustin said Sleepy Hollow equals the Headless Horseman story. Yes, I am. Yep, Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. Definitely a cool story for this time of year, especially. But yeah, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow is a really cool story. I want to go to Salem, Massachusetts at some point too. Even if I don't go during the Halloween season, because it's Salem, it's like cool all year long because of the history. I mean, the history is not cool. The history is horrific. But I think it'd be a really cool vibe to go up there at some point. And it's not, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that far from me. So I would love to check that out at some point, just to see what it is all about. Oh, speaking of witches and witchy type stuff, I went to an art show on Saturday. It was called Crickwater Art Show, first annual, created by a couple of friends of mine. So I went to support them, and I met J.M. DeSantis. I'm reading the book, or the bag. Look, I got a cool bag with my purchase, and I bought this print. Check her out. Isn't she awesome? Like for Halloween. Oh, love her. I walked by and I was like, I don't need print, but she kept calling for me. So I went over and I bought her some and I put her on the wall once I get my my room set up. I think there's something very like Gina Gershon about her. Like I was looking at her, I'm like, she reminds me of somebody. And my friend was like, suggested her. I'm like, that's it, because I have a big old crush on her. So I wound up getting it, and I think it's really cool. And it's also really cool to support local artists. So make sure that you do that, because all of like the Hollywood studios have lots and lots of money behind them, but the local indie artists and filmmakers and musicians do not. So go to the shows, support GoFundMe's, whatever you can do to support the people that do not have the same kind of backing. So, Dustin says, love the print. Thank you. I do too. And so does Lizzie. Lizzie says, I love it. And Dustin's asking, and dressing up for Halloween? I'm not sure, because I'm going to be handing out candy. So I don't, obviously I love to dress up sexy, do sexy stuff. I have a brain in my head. I'm not doing that to hand out candy to little kids. So I'm trying to think what I have that I could dress up as that is appropriate. So I do have, I have a t-shirt that says like witch hair, don't care. So if I got a witch hat to do just even like that, and jeans or something like that. I have a robe that I wore to the art show. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't think I have it uploaded in here because it was too recent. No, I do not. But it's really cool because it's velvet and it's hooded and stuff like that. So it's, it's spooky looking. I like that. All right. We are getting questions in the comments. Oh, look, you missed my print? I'll show you again. I'll show you my sexy witchy girl. Check her out. I'm trying to get it so it's not glaring off my ring light. Isn't she cool? And let me see. Since I just met him, I don't think we're on. That's the artist. So super cool. Super happy to support. And I am super psyched that my friend Johnny Logan Harley is in the comments. Hey, buddy. All right. So he says, oh, yeah, why didn't I even think of that? April O'Neil, I can 100% do April O'Neil. Absolutely. Or Lois Lane. Very cool. So quick little side note, because y'all know I do mind to mouth. It pops into my head. I have to say it. So if you guys are new to the Sydney party, you may have missed my cosplaying at the Comic-Con where I met Johnny. I don't know what this thing is tonight either. I just keep doing it. So please ignore my little zip it motion I keep making with my hand. Uh, when I was at a Comic-Con, and this was back in April. Funny enough. So I decided that since I was there doing interviews of the artists and the celebrities and stuff like that, that I would cosplay as journalists. So the first day I was Lois Lane, and then the second day I was April O'Neil. And I still have the outfits from both, but the Lois wig is what I wear in Curse of the Ghost Rider as April Jones. So I had the original Lois wig from the Comic-Con. Then I bought a second Lois wig for the special effects because I knew I was going to get blood all in the wig and I wanted to have one. Well, Lois 2, as I called the bloody one, wound up in the trash because I wasn't even going to try to get, I mean, there was some blood in that wig. And Lois 1 disappeared. How does a wig, it was like something out of like, I'm just picturing it like Night of the Creeps or something, like crawling out. Like, I'm like, Lois 1 is just gone. Where did she go? So I wound up buying Lois 3 because I was out of Lois's. And then I found Lois 1. So now I have 2 Lois wigs again. But April O'Neil, I had the red hair, I have the yellow outfit, the whole thing. So yes, that is a very appropriate costume that I could do. Oh, Luna says Morticia. I adore Morticia. I love her so much. She is awesome. And let's see. Oh, Darren. Hey, sweetie. My friend Darren's here. Princess Leia. I love Princess Leia too. I just don't have a costume for her. So I would have to buy something. And I would, like, if I don't have to spend any more money, especially now after buying Lois 3, that would be ideal. But yeah, Princess Leia is always like top shelf costume to wear too. Dustin is asking, any favorite fall foods or drinks? So let's see. If you have a favorite fall food or drink, put it in the comments, because if it's something that somebody else hasn't heard of, maybe they'll give it a shot. You never know where you're going to find out about new things. So, Luna Project says Honey Crisp apples. I love Honey Crisp apples. They are awesome. And she also says, I thought you said you have a Morticia type costume. I have the robe, which isn't Morticia. I had an Elvira costume growing up, and that's long since disintegrated in the attic bin. When I was little, like middle school, I wanted to be Elvira so bad for Halloween. So my mom made me a costume, and the neckline was like this. It was like one step from a turtleneck. I'm like, I want to be Elvira, not Elvira, So it was elastic. So I would wait until she couldn't see me and I'd pull it down over my shoulders. And I wore that thing for years. But it was really cool. It had a bat belt. Like the belt was like shaped like a little bat. And it was a great costume. My mom made us the best costumes. Really, really good memories from growing up. Aaliyah, you made it, sweetie. Yes, you did make it. I'm so glad you're here. And Dustin says, I'm boring. Apple cider and pumpkin pie. Nothing boring about that. And I love pumpkin pie, but I don't like clove. So for me, I make my own pumpkin spice without the clove in it. And it's got to be sugar-free for me to eat it too. So I found this thing. It's called the Grape Pumpkin Dessert. And I love it. And what it is it's a can of pumpkin, a can of evaporated milk, pumpkin pie spice. It's a cup of sugar. I use Splenda. And I think that's it for you like mix all that up and you pour it in a 9x13 pan. And then you get a box of cake mix, which they also sell sugar-free now. So they rock. You top it with cake mix and you melt butter and you pour it on top. And then you bake it. And when it comes out, you top it with nuts. Like, because the recipe says to put the walnuts on it and bake it. And then every time I do that, they burn to shit and I hate it. So what I do instead is I get, okay, do you say pecan or do you say pecan? Either or, I get those. And I chop them up, put them in a frying pan with butter and salt and like make like salted pecans. And then when it comes out of the oven, I sprinkle them on top. Oh. And thank you, Ready Whip, for making zero sugar whipped cream. But so good. And I don't know, they might have dairy-free options too. I don't know what a dairy-free version of evaporated milk would be, but I'm sure that there is one. I've made vegan cheesecake, so I believe that there's a vegan version of everything. But I need the sugar-free. I have to cough again, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what that tickle is in my throat. It's driving me insane. It's probably a dog hair. Or it's probably from the fall leaves. Let's see. Johnny says, oh, he's drinking root beer schnapps mixed in sugar-free root beer tonight. I didn't know about root beer schnapps. Interesting. Because I know there's like peach schnapps and butterscotch and interesting. All right. Luna's agreeing with Dustin that pumpkin pie is yum. Love it. And I can absolutely post a recipe. 100%. So good. And it's so easy. It's just like literally, I use a whisk. I don't know if you have to. But that makes like the pumpkin part really fluffy. So good. I make that for Thanksgiving instead of pumpkin pie. It's delicious. And Luna says, I wonder if oat milk would work. I'm not sure. Can you do, like, because evaporated milk's got less water in it and oatmeal's kind of watery. But I wonder if you took oat milk and you added more oats in a blender and made it thicker. Or if you just like put more oats in it and like soaked it up and then like strained it. I don't know. Google would know. We will Google it for our vegan friends because it's that good. You got to try it. Johnny says, Dustin Hausner has been working hard on stuff for both our film and upcoming commercial. And I appreciate that so much. I mentioned Curse of the Ghostwriter earlier, and Dustin is also in it. And so are Aaron and Lizzie. So you guys, it's going to be so, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait. Let's see. Aaliyah is suggesting almond milk as an alternative. Let's see. And okay, Luna's saying there are, or is it dairy-free half and half? There's probably both because the market has exploded for vegan options. So, because my older brother and his family are vegan, so I kind of know vicariously through them, trying to offer something other than here's your salad when they come over. You know, I've kind of experimented, and they're the ones I made the vegan cheesecake for, because I did a bunch of desserts for my niece's wedding. So I had the regular desserts that I made, and then I had vegan desserts, and then I had gluten-free vegan desserts for another family member. So you can, like, there's so many different options out there now. Like, we are living in a time where there's so much available to us. And it's interesting that at the same time, there's so many issues with food with people, like so many sensitivities. And I know it's because of all the additives and crap we're adding to everything, but there is a lot more options than there would have been, you know, probably even 10 years ago, but definitely 20 years ago. So let's see. Johnny says, Dustin was kind enough to even film my feathered friend, Turkey Man, too. Absolutely. He's an awesome dude, too. You know, gobble, gobble. We just won't talk about Thanksgiving if Turkey Man's on the show because gets a little offended. So let's see here. Lunar Project says that Ohio is now legal for recreational marijuana. Awesome. Very cool. Because I really think that it should just be legalized everywhere. That's my 2 cents. And I'm not even a big smoker, but I just don't see the point in it being illegal. And I 100% don't see the point of locking people up for it when there's a prison overcrowding problem. So if you want to make it illegal, write a ticket, you know, but even that's stupid. But anyway, back to desserts. So do you guys have any other things that you like to eat in the fall more than the rest of the year? Because it's like you get summer, you get your burgers and your dogs and your like grilled food. And then winter's kind of like the big comfort foods. Although in the fall, I'm a big soup person. So I love like in the morning throwing it all in the crock pot so that by night it's ready to rock and roll. And then the next day or two, so good. So good. The longer it sits, the better it gets. It's delicious. Um, so I like what did Luna said, yeah, chili soups, of course, squash. Yep. Oh, squash. I make an acorn squash that is awesome. So you get like your acorn squash and you scoop it all out, and I mix it with I mix the inside with spinach and bacon and chili powder, cayenne. Haven't made it in a little bit. Like a locatelli cheese. So good. It is banging. It's got like just a little bit of heat from the spice, but then it's got the spinach and the cheese. We're going to have to start a little recipe group, like that is spawned off of this. Everybody put your recipes in the comments of the Facebook post for this, because I can never find YouTube comments after the show's done. So definitely like on the Learn and Go Facebook page, add your recipes under this, because we all have such fantastic ideas. We are the best. All of us are the best. Let's see here. So we have Dustin says, oops, I hit the wrong one. Soup is great any time of year. You have to drop off. All right, sweetie, have a good night. Thank you so much for dropping by, and always great chatting with you. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Aaliyah says apple crisp. Oh, apple crisp soup. There's lasagna soup. You just sent me the recipe. I made a lasagna soup years ago and I lost the recipe. So I'm super excited to try out the one that you sent me. So Luna says butternut squash soup is, that's so good. So good. Yeah, and you said probably cayenne. I'm 99% sure it's cayenne. Like after I said it, I'm like, no, it's not chili powder. I think it's, got a little bit of more spice than that. And let's see, Aaliyah, yes, this is the Facebook page. If you're the one that I tagged you on, is the correct one. And Lizzie and Austin are both saying good night to Dustin. I'm so glad he hopped on. He's good people. Yeah, I also make it now. I know some people are not sweet potato fans, but it is a sweet potato turkey chili. And if you were in my crock pot challenge group a few years ago, you know the recipe that I am talking about. And even my family that does not like sweet potatoes likes this, because it kind of disintegrates into the chili. So you're not getting like giant hunks of sweet potato, and it's really good. And it's different, like it's still chili, but it's like different. And it's delicious, and it's a good way to like sneak in some extra veggies. So I can add that recipe to this thing too, this little list. Wait a minute, really? I don't see him. Let's see. Luna Projects is saying, have I had Japanese yams? I don't think I have. Are those the ones that are white inside instead of orange? Tell me what a Japanese yam is, because I'm not really sure. And Johnny's saying Mark is here. Where's Mark? I don't see him in the comments. Is he being sneaky? Oh, she baked some last night and is saying yes. Okay. I have never tried them. Do you just bake them? Like, put that recipe in here too. Because like squashes and yams and potatoes, they're all like really good in the fall. And like any kind of root vegetable really is kind of a fall food, I think, because it kind of makes you feel witchy. You got your turnips and your carrots and your parsnips and like all that. I used to make they call them turnip fries. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not going to taste, yeah. Well, of course, when it's just like French fries. No, it's not. But it's a nice alternative, and I like cutting them up and like putting them in the frying pan and like getting them all crisped up and all kind of like hash browns to have with an egg scramble. That's kind of good. Um, Johnny says, "I am what I am." All right, thanks, Popeye. That's awesome. Um, okay, and Luna's saying there's all kinds of things you can do with the Japanese yams. I'm curious. I'm always like, as long as I'm not allergic to it, I will try anything just to, expand what I like to eat. Because there's so many things out there, and it gets kind of boring sometimes if you just don't, like the same foods all the time. Like it's fun to experiment with different stuff. And if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it again. So, okay, she says they're less sweet than the other yams. So, is it like sweet potato, then yam, then Japanese yam? Is that like on the sweetness scale? Because most stores will be selling, a yam and call it a sweet potato and vice versa. And because like most of us don't know the difference, it's just you have your russet baking potatoes and then you have like your other ones. So it's kind of like they'll just put that down there. Johnny says Texas Roadhouse has the best sweet potatoes. I love their sweet potato fries. Oh, you know what? No, I have had their baked sweet potato. That's some good shiznit. Yeah, I like that. I haven't been there in forever. I think they had something called a rattlesnake bite too. That was pretty good too, from what I remember. I was there for my 40th birthday, so that might have been the last time I was there. So that makes that almost 10 years ago. Wow. That hit pretty hard saying that out loud. But yeah, they have good food there. I don't go out to the chains that often, but that's one that I would. And Lynn is asking what the rattlesnake bite is. It's kind of like cheese and bacon and potato, like deep fried, from what I remember. Pretty much, if you give me deep fried potatoes with cheese and bacon in any form, whether it's loaded French fries or a like shredded up tater tot filled with that. There was they're no longer in business, but there was a pizza place near here that had a thing called tater kegs. And they're like if you look at a tater tot, but it's like on steroids, so it's like a big tater tot. And then inside of it is like the cheese and bacon. Oh, so bad for me, but so good for me at the same time. They were really they were really delicious, but like you got 5 of them, which to me, odd numbers make me twitch. So that was always kind of like off, and they're just big enough that they're so good. And yes, Johnny and I will both be turning 50 in the spring. I'm only slightly older. Slightly. So yes, Johnny is also turning 50. Yep, yep. And like jalapeno poppers are awesome. Okay. Quick poll in the comments. Do you like jalapeno poppers with cream cheese or with cheddar? Because there's 2 different kinds. So if you like jalapeno poppers, maybe you don't like them, so you can say that too. But are you a cheddar cheese jalapeno popper person or are you a cream cheese jalapeno popper person? Johnny cannot decide. He likes both. Okay. And Luna Projects also likes both. Okay. We have 2 boths. So feel free to chime in or just say, I don't like jalapeno poppers, because that's okay too. I like the cheddar ones better. I will eat the cream cheese ones, but I definitely like the cheddar better. Yes, Lizzie. Lizzie and Aaron are both cheddars. All right. And Johnny says choosing both is still a decision. Fair. That's fair. I will give you that. 100% true. Yeah, I love jalapeno poppers, but the cheddar ones to me I like better. So, but I pretty much if it's an appetizer, I would rather eat appetizers for dinner than like order a dinner. I'll order like a couple different appetizers because I think they're so yummy. And they're usually just like absolutely horrible for you, but I don't care. Because if I'm going out to eat, it's a sometimes food. So I like the jalapeno peppers. And what did I have recently? I'm trying to remember because we went to someplace different. Damn it, I'm having a brain fart. But it was really good, like because some places have like the cheesesteak egg rolls. I don't know if that's regional, and they're good. And Johnny says we talking about food tonight. Yep, that's what. Yeah, I just ate too, so it's not like I'm hungry. But like once we start talking about food, I'm like, all right, we can go down the food line a little bit. Luna's saying nachos, sliders, loaded fries, tons of things you can get. Absolutely. Yep. Love it. Love it. And Lizzie says we used to pick up a bunch of frozen appetizers and cook them up for movie night. Yes, we like to do that for New Year's Eve too. Just have a whole bunch of different appetizers. Um, in my family, we always had cheesesteaks on New Year's Eve, so that's kind of a tradition. And you have to have cabbage so that you'll have money for the year. But I can never remember if you're supposed to eat it on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, so I do both because I'm superstitious. But I always have a coleslaw because I don't really like cabbage in a lot of forms, but I'll eat coleslaw. I do like cabbage. Oh, cabbage roll soup. That's another good soup. Aaliyah's got a vote for jalapeno poppers. Awesome. And Luna Project says there's a restaurant that makes an avocado egg roll. Interesting. I've never had that, but I would absolutely try that. I love avocado. Oh, the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. We'll have to see if they have it because I have one of them near me. Johnny says, made a low carb pizza on flatbread tonight. That sounds delicious. That sounds really delicious. And Luna's agreeing. Flatbread pizza, that's hard to say. Flatbread pizza is yum yum. I agree. Flatbread pizza is like Irish wristwatch. Sorry, I'm always going to go back to the Irish wristwatch. I love flatbread pizza. I love anything with like any kind of pizza that has a thin crust, and that's my jammy jam. Lizzie says we were toying with the idea of trying to make taco egg rolls. Absolutely. Make those Johns and let us know how they came out because that sounds amazing. Absolutely. And Luna says Cooper's Hawk has flatbread pizza on the apps menu. I don't know what Cooper's Hawk is. That might be a thing that's just regional to you. I've never heard of Cooper's Hawk. But flatbread pizza is the bomb. And you can make so many different kinds of it too. So the place where we go that's like up the road, sometimes we'll just go for a couple apps and a drink. And they just redid their menu. So we went, it's probably been a month ago now. And they have these the 12-inch pizzas. And they're like specialty pizzas. So we got a Greek pizza while we were sitting there. And that was like the olives and tomatoes. And it had, I think, feta with the mozzarella. It was good. And then I got to come home, and this is going to sound completely disgusting, but whatever. It was the pizza dough, and then it had the mozzarella cheese, but it was roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon and red onion. And then it was basically their roasted Brussels sprouts appetizer, but on a pizza. It was so good. And like, unlike anything else I've ever had, I brought it home to have it for lunch the next day. So it was like really crisp because I had to put it in the oven to heat it up and it made it super, that was really good. And that was very different from anything I had ever had. I like the white pizza, like that just has the ragout and the mozzarella and like sometimes it has broccoli and tomato on it and stuff like that. That's really good too. But it's got to be like the thin crust. I don't like doughy pizza, but some people love it. So whatever floats your boat. Luna Project says, I thought they were a chain, not here, but, or maybe they are and I've just never noticed them, but I've never heard of that one. Johnny says, this morning I sent my first MP3 of my voice acting as Scooby-Doo. Yay! To the indie animator I'm helping out. You guys have to hear Johnny's impressions of these characters. Phenomenal. And I am so happy for you, my friend. That is so awesome. And let's see, 54 locations: Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, Virginia, and Wisconsin. They are all over the damn place. It's like they took a map of the United States and threw darts at it and said, where are we going to open one? That's pretty funny. It's like they're all around me, but not in Pennsylvania. That's hysterical. But once I'm, I like to travel sometimes. So next time I'm traveling, I will keep my eyeballs open for one, because that sounds interesting. Yeah, so we should play Pick a Page. So the first three numbers from 1 to 318, because I don't remember exactly how many pages are in my book, I will read a sentence or a couple sentences from that page of my book. So Lunar Projects is in first with 69, dudes. I can't believe you guys haven't picked that yet, honestly. So let's see here. All right, 69 is actually the beginning of chapter 3, which is called Don't Let Anyone Put Your Fire Out, which makes me smile because I know exactly what story I was referencing when I named this chapter that. It can take a long time to find your passion, but when you do, you need to make sure you stoke that fire inside of you and continue to make it grow into an unstoppable inferno. For some people, their passion can be found in their work. Certain people seem to be born to do awesome things, or they feel a pull in their heart tugging them to their purpose in life. I have tremendous respect for people who have a talent or who have known since childhood which path they want their life to take. I don't fall into either of those categories. Are you someone that was like born with a talent, musical prodigy or artist, or are you somebody that's struggled to find your passion and now you know what it is, or are you still looking? Because there's nothing wrong with any of those. Okay, I'm laughing because Luna Projects picks 69 and then right after Johnny picks 69. This is why you are my tribe. I love you guys. That's hilarious. So put that in the comments, whether you have always known what you wanted to do with your life or if you're still trying to figure that out. Because not everybody knows, and it can change too. Just because you started down one path doesn't mean that you're, required to be in that path for the rest of your life. You can definitely try all kinds of new and exciting things. I'm proof of that. I published a book at 47 or 48. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want. All right. So Aaron says 210. So let's see what 210 is. 210 is the second page of chapter 13. So let's see. It started in the middle of a sentence. So some women deal with a partner who is less than respectful, who has poor self-esteem, or who is jealous. Others are held back by beliefs that make them feel like they must treat their sisters as quote unquote less than. I hope that was not the case with these women. So to reference that, I'm talking about when I worked at a bar in the middle of the Pine Barrens, and the community was trying to get us out of there. And one of the things that they were saying, well, you can stay, but you have to wear ID tags. Yeah, because that's smart to walk around with your name, address, everything in plain view of a bunch of strangers who now can hunt you down, like that's so. Let's see, because they were yelling about not wanting us there because of safety concerns. So anyway, let's see. So that's why I said, I hope that was not the case with these women. I would hope that they were confident enough with themselves and honestly believed that they were saying Sorry. Who wrote this? So, I would hope that they were confident enough with themselves and honestly believed what they were saying because they had come to that place of their own volition, not because they were forced to. So yeah, that was a chapter about people that feel like they're forced into a certain belief system, not because they feel that way, but because they feel that they are expected to be that way. So I get more into that in that chapter. But yeah, that was an experience there. Thankfully, that never got passed. Spoiler alert, we didn't have to do that. But yeah, that's like, there was no good to come of that for sure. Luna Project says, I'm a photographer, artist, drawing, painting, crafts. I write, I arrange flowers, and love music. I love all of those things. That is amazing that you found such a creative way to be, like that you found all these different ways to express yourself. That's phenomenal because I love all of those things as well. I'm not the best artist. I'm not the best singer. I'm not the best, but I enjoy it. And I think the more that I do things, the better I get, which is true with anybody, like, but I love that you do all of those things. That's awesome. Lizzie says, who wrote this? I'm dying. It's true. I can't even read my own words, right? All right, one more pick a page. We have 78. It's so funny, like, again, mind to mouth, because 78 was the number of my grandmother's street address. So that made me smile when I saw it. Let's see here. 78. Yes. All right. Let me get it. Again, it's in the middle of a sentence. So I've learned that if I know in my heart that I am following my passion, the people who are trying to stop me are merely speed bumps on my way to success. I need to stay on my path. Sometimes when I feel like the negative opinions of others are starting to break through in my mind, I like to sit back and imagine the day that my dream is finally achieved. I picture the faces of the people who have told me I'm stupid. More specifically, the ones who have said I'm not as smart as they are because I never got my college degree, as if what I've learned during my other life experiences cannot be counted as valuable. I think about the people who have called me names, cut me down, made me feel quote unquote less than. Interesting that phrase has come up twice in the numbers you guys have picked. I especially see the faces of the people who I know have smiled to my face while talking shit about me behind my back, blissfully unaware that I know all about it, what was said and to whom and when and where. So you have to read the book to figure out how that ended. But it's just funny that both, two of the three use the less than as a adjective. Interesting. Aaron says, I like 88. I have a feeling there's a dirty joke in there by the little emoji after that. I know what a 68 is, but I don't know what an 88 is. Put it in the comments, sir. Enlighten us. Oh, thank you. Johnny's saying I'm a hell of a good actress. I appreciate that. I'm trying. I always loved being in the school plays and the musicals and shit, I was a dancer for how many years? That's an acting job. So yeah, I appreciate that because it's just fun. So I hope that it's I'm sorry, I just read the answer for what an 88 is. It's you don't get 8 once, you get 8 twice. But a 68 is you get down on me and I owe you one. That one always cracked me up. Let's see here. Luna Project says, I just got an idea. You do your daily affirmations. I'm surprised that you haven't taken little quotes from your book, put it on a card and that's a good idea. Put your book logo on one side. That's a very good idea. Maybe I will do that. Make my own set of cards. Because I do love the ones that I use, but then, if they ever decide to be like, we don't want you to use them anymore, which is 100% their right, then what am I going to do? So I like that idea. Thank you, sweetheart. I really like that. My sister's here. Everybody say hi to my sissy, especially if you got to see the show she was on a few weeks ago after we did her photo shoot because I was her driver for that on her birthday. Yay! Lunar Project says, "Hey, Carlin." That's awesome. Yes, learned in go-go cards. I love that idea. Thank you. Yeah, I shouldn't have a problem with the logo because I paid the artist, but I do want to check with him because he's awesome. So I want to make sure that I don't get in trouble for using that for merch. But I wouldn't think so. I think once you pay for it, it's yours, right? I don't know. I don't know the legalities, but I will definitely check that out. That's a fantastic idea. Thank you. You guys are the bestest. Oh, it's the point in the program where I can't sit that way anymore. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's already been an hour already. I love talking to you guys. Makes time go by so fast. Let's see. Johnny says, I own. Okay. And if she gets royalties, you mean if the artist gets royalties? I don't think he does. I'll have to go back and see the contract, but I'm pretty sure that it didn't say that. But I can check that out. So I haven't talked to him in a bit, but he's a sweetheart. If you guys are like ever looking for something to read, his name is Gareth Southwell, and he has published several books. Also, I just read, is it Pale Kings? Let me see. I got the audiobook. I think I got the audiobook on Spotify. So let me see. That one was really good. Like the idea of it was interesting. But he has like published a bazillion books, and he actually has a series, and he was Pale Kings it's called. Gareth J. Southwell. He has a series of books, and he was releasing a chapter at a time for free, which was pretty cool. I was putting it in my Instagram stories for a while. So, definitely check him out and support him because he designed this and he did my typesetting, and he really went above and beyond what, his duties were to help me get the book the best version of it that it could be. So very much appreciate him. And if you ever need a cover artist typesetter dude, he's in Wales, but he's at readz.com. That's where I found him. So super cool. Always like to shout out good people. So want to do that. It's Gareth J. Southwell is his name. Luna just asked again. So yeah, he took my vision, because I was like, I wanted me on the pole, and this is the words, and he was just like, bam. So super cool. And that's why, like, the internet's really good for that too, for connecting people to each other for all kinds of things. And I'm really glad to be in this day and age where we can do that. So Johnny says, once an artist is paid for said work, it is owned by the person who paid for it unless originally specified that it was only licensed. Okay, that's good to know. Because I know I have all of the paperwork. I just haven't looked at it in 5 or 6 years, so I don't specifically remember. But I'm pretty sure, because when I originally got it commissioned, I wanted to have, t-shirts and I had all the merch in my head, so I'm sure I wouldn't have just been like, oh good, Lunar Project's found them. Awesome. But yeah, that's pretty cool. How did we get onto that? Because we were talking about 88s and we were talking about I'm trying to the cards. That's how we came. Yes. Lunar Project's awesome idea for learning go-go cards. That's how, because I'm like, how do we even start talking about this? I had a brain fart again, guys. I'm telling you, today has been a very long, wonderful day, but a little bit frazzled. So I was just going to do a nice little PSA too, because I was driving where If you guys missed the beginning of the program, I was in York, PA today, home of the band live. Here we go. So it's like a 2-hour drive. So I'm driving back and I'm on, it's not a major highway, but it's, like a 2 lanes each way divided highway. So traffic's pretty backed up, and you get the pockets where you can go pretty fast and then it slows down again. So go through a pocket and I'm stopped, person in front of me stops. So I stop. And in my rear view, I see this white SUV barrel assing at me. And then at the last second, they pull into the shoulder, like hit the brakes into the shoulder. There was this old man, looked like Santa Claus, walking up the shoulder. How they didn't hit this man, I still don't know. It was the angels were watching over him. Scared the shit out of me because I'm like, either I'm about to get crushed or this man's about to get crushed. And honestly, out of the two, please be me because at least I'm in my car, So Luna, so wear your brown pants today. Yes, I did. But they were on their phone. Like, please, when you are driving, keep your eyeballs on the road and not in your phone. Whatever it is can wait. Like, they almost killed somebody. And for what? Like, if the text is that important, pull off into the shoulder and answer it and then go back to driving. So just my 2 cents, because that scared the bejesus out of me. And I know it scared the bejesus out of that poor old man. Like, and I'm sure it scared the bejesus out of the person on their phone. And it's just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And then like, I had pulled off of that highway and I'm on these roads that are literally like this, and it's 2 lanes and no shoulder, not even this much shoulder on either side. It's like the road was cut out of mountain, not mountain. I'm exaggerating, hill, but it's trees and everything. And the roads are like this and like, blind curve. And I go around the curve and this woman is flying around the corner, like half in my lane. And I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm just like, there's nowhere to go. Last second gets in her lane. I'm like, why don't people pay attention? It's like, dude, it's not, okay. That was it. I just had to bitch a little bit because I was still a little, there's this again. I need a puppet. I need to get a Ronster from Beefus, Von Griefus, and Roni. Or I'll just borrow my daughter's because she bought one at the art show. But yeah, it was just on my brain. So like I said, mind to mouth, please stay off your phone while you're driving, and pay attention because you can completely alter somebody's life in an instant, your own and other people's. So just be careful. We all got to look out for each other out there, man. It's cuckoo out there. When we drive up the mountains, it's a 2-hour drive and it's on the PA Turnpike. So I've started counting the amount of people who have their faces in their phones just out of curiosity. It's like we used to play the alphabet game. Now I play the count the phone game. So it's 99% of the time, definitely in the double digits. Usually it's over 20. Once we were in the Lehigh Tunnel and the girl in the car next to us was on her phone in the freaking tunnel. Like, there's no room for error. Why are you texting in the tunnel? But the number one thing is, did I say stay off the road when you're driving? I think I said stay off your phone when you're driving. I meant phone. I could have said road. But yeah, stay off your phone when you're driving. But the person that won my biggest idiot award, and just disclaimer beforehand, this was not a Tesla, so it was not a self-driving vehicle. This was just your regular, like, Corolla from 2002, so there's no way this car was driving itself. This man had an open laptop on his passenger seat and was typing on it while he's driving up the turnpike. Sir. What? Okay, now I'm really done bitching about it, but it scared me today. That was very scary because that came hair's breadth of being a disaster for several people. So just be safe out there, and say thanks to your guardian angels, because I guarantee you there's times in my life I'm like, how did I not die? And it's, I got people on other planes looking out for me, and I'm very grateful for them. So hopefully you do as well, because we all need our tribe to help us. And I'm going to say it, I always say it, because when the tide comes in, all ships rise. So we all need to be there for each other and help lift each other up. And I appreciate all of you who meet me on this little podcast every week, and we just chat and have a great time. And I love each and every one of you. And I am so grateful to have you in my life, because I'd be lost without y'all. You're awesome. So I am going to wrap this up for tonight, but I appreciate you and I love all of you guys, and thank you for joining me. Next week, I'm planning on another live show, 9 o'clock, the usual, because I think the week after might be a pre-recorded little gem that I have for you. But next week should be live again. So, barring things unforeseen like crazy people in white SUVs. I don't even want to put that in the universe. I take that back. Take that back. So definitely meet me here again next week. Please, please feel free to share this out. This is, the more the merrier. And as always, when life comes at you, make sure you take it head on, because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love you guys.